From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Darrell W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, February 14th, 2016. Silver is trading at $15.76 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,238 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $400. Antiwar.com reports the Red Cross has responded to Saudi Arabia's letter ordering them and all humanitarian groups out of the Shiite Houthi-controlled northern Yemen by rejecting it, saying their mission often requires going into dangerous areas and that they remain committed to aiding civilians across Yemen. The letter went public recently when the UN aid agency reported receiving the letter and similarly rejecting the demands to stay out of rebel territory, while warning the Saudis that international law obliges them to allow humanitarian aid groups to access war zones. The Saudis have been taken to task repeatedly by humanitarian groups for the massive civilian death toll in their air war on Yemen and for using their naval blockade of the Yemeni coast to limit food shipments into the country, which relies almost exclusively on food imports. Indeed, a recent UN report concluded the Saudis have been systematically targeting civilians in Yemen, declaring their behavior a crime against humanity. That was followed up by a Saudi pledge to seek U.S. and British help in limiting civilian casualties. It is unclear what's resulted from that, however, except the letter ordering aid workers away from those civilians. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs offers premium publicity campaigns designed to facilitate an organization's adoption of Bitcoin as a payment system and to fully capitalize on that decision in their fundraising efforts. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. UPI reports U.S. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia died on Saturday after a day of quail hunting at a luxury resort in West Texas. Scalia died of apparent natural causes at Cibolo Creek Ranch near Marfa, Texas. A source told ABC7 that Scalia was not feeling well after dinner on Friday night and he was found Saturday morning. An anonymous federal official told MySanAntonio.com there was no evidence of foul play, and the U.S. Marshals, the FBI, and Presidio County Sheriff's Office were investigating. Principal Deputy Press Secretary Eric Schultz said President Obama and First Lady Michelle were informed of Scalia's death and extend their deepest condolences to his family. Scalia, the longest-serving justice on the Supreme Court, was appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1986. In his 29 years on the nation's highest court, Scalia was known for his strict adherence to the words of the Constitution as they were originally written. Before Reagan selected Scalia for the High Court, the justice had been a member of the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia since 1982. He was known as a conservative scholar, and some thought he was too conservative, and for his colorful, often humorous use of language on the bench. Scalia's death leaves a vacancy on the 9-person Supreme Court, and within hours of his death, battle lines had already been drawn on Capitol Hill over who would be named as his replacement. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports Oklahoma was struck by a magnitude 5.1 earthquake on Saturday morning, the third strongest quake ever recorded in the state, which, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, has experienced a surge in seismic activity in recent years. The quake at 11:07 a.m. local time was followed by several aftershocks in the next 90 minutes, including one with a magnitude 3.9. The first quake was felt from Kansas City, Missouri to Dallas, Texas, but no damage or injuries were reported. Earthquakes in Oklahoma in January led to calls for the governor to make changes to oil and gas drilling regulations. Robert Williams, a geophysicist with the U.S. Geological Survey, said only 2 previous earthquakes in Oklahoma were stronger than the one on Saturday, a magnitude 5.6 quake in 2011 and a magnitude 5.5 quake in 1952. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.